2021. We are in the new year. Who's excited to be done with 2020? I think we all are. I think every one of us can say, bye bitch. Thank God that's over. And even though 2020 has ended, we still have to deal with the lingering after effects of those big energies that came for a visit during last year. So this year we're going to see us extricating ourselves from a lot of that narrative, but it's still gonna take some time. So the clock doesn't strike midnight and everything is back to normal. That's not how it's gonna happen, but I can tell you that 2021 does look and feel better than 2020. So there's that. Regardless, I think that we are all super stoked to be done with that year and moving into the future of 2021. I hope everyone had a good New Year's celebration, a good riddance to 2020, and a welcome to 2021, because we're about to get into it, the first month of this year, and what energies we can expect and what tools we can use to help coddle us through the transits that this month will bring us. Ready? Okay, starting off on January 6th, we already have a good sign here. Mars moves into the sign of Taurus. If you guys remember, Mars has been in Aries since the end of June of 2020. We even had a retrograde of Mars in Aries from September to November. So we had a lot to contend with the Mars and Aries transit, that fiery determination, that aggression, the temper tantrum and hissy fits that can be thrown when those two energies meet up. But now we get a reprieve because on the 6th, Mars enters the sign of Taurus. It's more grounded, it's more stable, it's more calm, less recklessness, more restlessness. So Mars in Taurus can bring us a lot of groundedness, a lot of back down to earth energy when it comes to acting out and pursuing our desires. But it also can be a little restless here because it's not getting everything answered right away, which Mars really likes right away. Mars likes immediate satisfaction and gratification, and Taurus tends to take its time a little bit. It likes to be a little bit more patient. It likes to be a little bit more sure-footed. So Mars and Taurus is not an exact match, but it will feel a lot slower paced. It will feel a lot calmer. And this is also where we can see a lot of the plans that were put into place with the Mars and Aries transit when we were making all these lists and to-dos and wishes and wants and really like putting that energy out there. Now the Mars and Taurus transit can have us see these things to fruition. We can actually have more of an abundant energy come through and receive the abundance. So this is going to be really nice for a lot of us who have planned for this, who did take that Mars and Aries energy and utilized it appropriately when it came to putting out our desires, our heart's wishes, our soul's wants. What did we need to be fulfilled? Mars and Taurus can bring that to us. On January 8th, Mercury enters the sign of Aquarius. So no longer in the sign of Capricorn. Now we're moving to the sign of Aquarius, which is a little bit more out there. Capricorn is very precise, it's very direct and succinct and knows what it wants and is sure of itself. And in the Aquarius sign, it's more of what do I desire? It's more of a desire on the bigger levels of things versus personal. So Capricorn is very personal, Aquarius is very collective. So Mercury and Aquarius can have us really wishing for, communicating for, and speaking to the bigger picture of the world and where we're going as a collective consciousness of humanity, where the future is leading us all together. And allow for that communication to come through. Like, where do we want to see this world heading? Where do we see ourselves by the end of 2021? Like, this is where it starts, right? So planning now, where do we want to end up by the end of this year? Mercury in Aquarius really speaks for the whole. So where as a whole do we see ourselves? Do we want to be? Also on January 8th, Venus enters the sign of Capricorn, more of a practical approach to love, but one that ultimately wants to and will succeed. Capricorn gets what it wants all the time. So Venus in Capricorn, you're gonna get what you want when it comes to the matters of the heart. So utilize this energy to really be direct, really lay out those best laid plans and expect the return on investment from them. January 13th, we have our new moon in Capricorn. It's an excellent time to continue on with that resolution energy. So if you remember back in December's energy support report, I talked about December 21st, when the sun moved into Capricorn, that it was a great time to start your resolutions list, like your wishes, your goals, your desires. The new moon in Capricorn is when we get to like really kind of release those into the universe. If you can picture it as December 21st, picking up the dandelion in the field of wishes and putting all that energy and all those intentions and like really focusing in on the dandelion needles, and this is what I want you to do for me, baby. This is what I want to come true. The new moon in Capricorn is when we blow those needles out into the universe, release them so that they can come back to us in the ways that we've asked for. So this is a great time to send out your letters to Universe Santa, your Christmas list for the future, for the full year of what it is that you want. On January 14th, Uranus finally ends its retrograde spin in the sign of Taurus. It's been retrograde since August of 2020, so we can now expect a lot of forward motion on some unexpected windfalls, honestly. So January really is pairing that Capricorn energy with these Taurus transits, with the grand conjunction that happened on December 21st. Like all of these big energies are coming together to kind of lend a hand, to kind of put everything, all the chips, all the monies into the middle pile, into the center pot, and we can then now reach our hands in and scoop it up. It's really there for us. This abundant energy is kind of flying all around us starting this month of 2021. So if you're smart, you will grab hold of it. You will tap into this abundant energy and you will start to accumulate your riches and your wealth from January on. And with Uranus in Taurus, wealth can be accumulated in unexpected ways. So it's not always traditional. In fact, it's most likely not traditional. Uranus has nothing to do with tradition. It has everything to do with outside the box, outside of the house, outside of the country thinking. Like it really does broaden the lens, broaden the scope to bring in things that you may not even have thought of that could be extremely beneficial or could lend itself to your path and purpose. So make sure that you keep both eyes open, both ears open, and your heart open so that you can acknowledge all these new wondrous ways that abundance can be achieved and received starting in January. On January 19th, the sun moves into the sign of Aquarius. We already have Jupiter in Aquarius, we have Saturn in Aquarius, and now the sun is transiting to Aquarius. All of these Aquarian movements are guiding us and directing us towards what this year is going to be, honestly, and what the future, honestly, is going to be because of all of these major shifts happening in Aquarius, which Aquarius is the sign of the collective, of humanity as a whole, how we operate together, and what our future is together as we evolve as one unit coming up. So really placing the focus on this with big emphasis on future vision. This is an important time. It's very auspicious. So we want to make sure that when the sun is in Aquarius that we really are utilizing and seeing, also pairing it up with Uranus and Taurus and Mars in Taurus, and pairing those energies up to see how we can not only help the abundance of the collective and help the collective unit as a whole rise up and evolve, but how we play our role in that, what our part is in that, as far as how our abundance is achieved and received as it relates to the entirety of humanity. So this is a big picture theme here. On January 28th, we have the full moon in Leo. Leo being the sister sign or opposite sign of Aquarius. So where Aquarius is about everybody, Leo is about self. So that brings that nice balance in between everyone and self, right? So making sure that we're also taking care of ourselves. But also full moon in Leo is that we're releasing those things that maybe are selfishly motivated or selfishly driven, especially in the time of Aquarius, especially in the Aquarian transits, that we have to let go of the ego and we have to surrender the things that are keeping us separate from everyone else, separate from the whole, that are keeping us on the outskirts. We need to kind of just let that shit go and bring ourselves into the fold so that we as a whole collectively, collaboratively come up together. This is a great time to release everything that's been holding you back as an individual. It's definitely a check your ego at the door moment. Then on January 30th, our first Mercury retrograde of the year kicks off right in January. It's gonna be in the sign of Aquarius and it will last until February 21st. So it's 3 weeks as it always does. And it's no big deal, but it is something that we need to pay attention to. We always should pay attention to the transits, never fear them, never worry about them, but definitely acknowledge so that we know how to work through them. So with this first Mercury retrograde coming up in the sign of Aquarius, we want to make sure once again that we are paying attention specifically how we are communicating, collaborating, and contracting ourselves with others, right? Not just with ourselves, but how we are involving ourselves with others and making sure that we're taking the right steps, that these are the things that are going to be beneficial for everyone involved, not just ourselves. So make sure that when you are entering into contracts or that you are entering into agreements during this time, that you're doing it with both eyes open, with the bigger picture in mind. Compared to some of the other months that we've most recently had in 2020, January 2021 seems somewhat quiet, but we do have some pretty big, awesome, beneficial transits happening. So make sure that you are directing your energy towards these, you're putting your attention towards these, and you're paying attention to where your abundance is coming from and how it plays into the collective as a whole. Because as you rise individually, we all rise together. Okay, so the crystal of the month this month is one that's super special. It had to hold a lot of special energies in order to line up with the first month of 2021, the first month of this new year that follows the hellish year of 2020. It had to be something that could hold and ground us and really transmute and integrate all of these things that we're going to be feeling and we're going to be working through as we move past what we've been through. So all month long, for the month of January, we're going to be working heavy with amphibole quartz. Amphibole quartz is pretty darn special. This mineral holds a lot of different inclusions and makes them look like angel hairs. So it's also known as angel hair quartz because they can be really wispy. These sediments and these inclusions can look really fine and delicate and like they're just blowing in the breeze, but that was caught in a crystalline structure. So they're quite beautiful, but they're also quite grounding, quite calming, soothing, and really incredibly expansive, supportive of your expansiveness and your expansive energy. Amphibole quartz helps to give us direction, which beginning of this year, I think that's what we need. And a lot of us are gonna need some direction, like where do I go from here? What path am I now taking after the shakeup and the earthquakes and the tsunamis and like the really lightning bolt, unexpected shifts of 2020? We're left with a lot of questions. And so amphibole quartz can really help to bring clarity and insight into what comes next, into where we need to be going forward. It's also a very protective crystal, which I think we all would like to be held right now and comforted and soothed, and amphibole quartz does all of that. One of my favorite things about amphibole quartz is its ability to empower you to face and rise up to challenges, which was a whole year, right? It was a whole year 2020 as us rising up and facing challenges, tears coming out of our eyes, mascara running, voice trembling, hands shaking, but we did it anyway. And Affable really gives us that boost of confidence, that boost of courage, and that grounded security and safety for us to stand stronger in our power, no matter what's coming our way. This is also an excellent crystal for dream work, or if you want to do some lucid dreaming. All you have to do is put some Affable quartz under your pillow or near your bedside and let it do its thing while the subconscious is at the forefront. It's really great for traveling in dream world to get more clarity on what's going on, because the subconscious knows things that the conscious mind does not. So this is a great channeling piece for you to be using if that's the kind of work that you're looking to do. And it links to the third eye, the crown chakra, and the soul star chakra. So it's a super high vibrational crystal that takes you higher in vibration. It links to the higher energies and frequencies, and also helps to bring your guides, your spirit guides, your team, your angels, connects you to the Akashic records. It helps you connect you to source itself. So really where you want to get the answers from, Affable quartz can help to take you there to get the answers. So meditating with this crystal all month long is really going to assist in that. And one of my suggestions on how to use this crystal this month would be to charge your water. I really like Affable quartz charged water. So we're gonna go indirect method because it's the safest. You can just place an Affable quartz right next to your water bottle. Touching right next to the vibrations of the crystal will affect the molecules in the water and charge them up, so that when you drink it, you're getting that supercharged crystalline energy hydration that helps to then also shift your own cells and the structure of them for higher vibrational output. So by the bedside or under the pillow and charge your water and meditation. This crystal is going to take you places this month and you're going to love it. This month's oil is super uplifting. It's super positive, it's super charged, and it's one that I really wanted us to work with in the month of January to start us off right. A fresh start, right? We don't want to bring any of that shit from 2020 in, even though some of it's inevitable. We want to at least control what we can control. And what we can control is our own energy and how we respond to things. And so the oil for this month is a super support in that, in helping to lift us up, in helping to keep us more in a positive headspace. So this month we're going to be working with tangerine oil. Tangerine oil is like happiness in a bottle. You can't not smell tangerine oil and not immediately feel in a better space, a better headspace, a better emotional space, a better energetic space. And this is coming from someone who does not like citrus. I am not a citrus person at all. I don't like eating them. I don't like drinking them. Smelling them is a whole nother thing though, and working with the oils is a whole nother thing. So I absolutely adore tangerine oil. I love that this is the oil we're going to be using for this month of January. Tangerine oil helps to bring us a sense of security. As I said, it's uplifting, and it also does help us to face challenges just like the Affable quartz. So these two pieces are going to work in perfect unison for the energies we're calling in for January. This oil is clarifying. It helps to alleviate stress, right? So again, we don't want to bring that shit in here. So we want to be calm and we want to be stress-free and anxiety-free, and tangerine really helps to dissipate all those lower level energies. It's soothing, it brings in joy and positivity, and it emphasizes happiness within us, and it connects to our sacral chakra. So really with that creative manifesting energies that goes on in the sacral, tangerine oil works perfectly with that, which works perfectly with all the Taurus and Aquarius transits we're happening this month, plus the Capricorn energy. So we're really working together in harmony, everything that's going on. So this month, tangerine oil is gonna be your favorite. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You guys, I wish you have to get some tangerine oil and smell this. I would just do this all day, I'm serious. I immediately feel so much better and so much calmer. Ugh. All right, so because I love the smell so much, Because I love the smell so much, we're gonna be using this as a perfume, or I will. You can choose not to, but I'm definitely going to be putting it on my pulse points because I want to smell like this. I'm also gonna be putting it right here because I want to smell it all month long. And we're going to be using it on our sacral as well because that's where it goes. That is the chakra it correlates to. So we always want to match our oil and our crystals with the chakras as much as we can so that we can get the highest benefit from them. I would also highly suggest diffusing this oil. You have a diffuser in home, you need to pop some tangerine oil in and just let that waft throughout your space. There's no way your environment won't be forever shifted and uplifted when you got this going on. Okay, it's time for our message of the month by none other than our Soul Journey deck by Nancy at SF Spirit House. This is, like we said, therapy in a box. It's what she calls it. It's what we're gonna call it. And it is really good. So we're going to give a quick shuffle so that we can get our message delivered to us for this month. And see what Spirit has in store for us and what it wants us to work through challenge-wise. Yes, it's a challenge. Could be a challenge, could be examination. It's a challenge. And I just pulled this card, so this is gonna be the one we're gonna be using, and it's really good. So devote 10 minutes each day this week to meditating. We're gonna take week to month though. Devote 10 minutes each day this month to meditating. 10 minutes, guys. If you're not already meditating 10 minutes a day, this is gonna change your life. And you're never gonna go back, I'll tell you that much, but you should be at least doing 10 minutes. If you're already doing 10 minutes, I would challenge you to do 20 minutes. If you're doing 20 minutes, I would challenge you to do 30, and so on and so on. I would add 10 minutes to whatever number you're starting from. So if it's 0, 10, right? But like if you're already somewhere, add 10 minutes to that. That's gonna be the challenge. Sit in silence, quiet your mind, and focus on your breath. Be kind to yourself. Allow your thoughts to be heard without judgment. So thoughts are gonna come in. If you have trouble meditating, if you have trouble meditating and you're like, I just can't meditate because all I do is think about my grocery list and the errands I have to run and like the laundry piling up and I've gotta feed the kids, like that's okay. It's okay. What did this card just say? Be kind to yourself. Allow your thoughts to be heard without judgment. If those are the thoughts that are coming in, don't judge them. Let them come. Okay, yep, I gotta pick this up at the store. Cool. Yep, I gotta do this errand. Yep, okay, what am I gonna do for dinner? I could do that for dinner. All right, great. The whole point of this is that you're sitting in silence, is that you're giving yourself the space to be. It doesn't matter what's flowing through your head. Emptying your thoughts is really hard. That's like expert level meditation. And we're not always all there. So we're not gonna judge those who can't be at that space. I'm not at that space. Sometimes my head's going a mile a minute, but I allow it to. And that's the whole point, is just to be. Just sit quietly and be without having to do anything physical. So the challenge is to take wherever you are in your meditative practice and add 10 minutes a day every day this month to that and watch how things shift. This is such a good challenge and it's so perfect to start the year off on. Because if we start the year off on this foot, if we make this a daily habit, practice, ritual now, by the end of the year, you're gonna be a completely different person. There's no way that this won't shift you. There's no way. So I love this challenge and I'm challenging each and every one of you and me, all of us, to rise up to this challenge, to participate in it and to shift ourselves for the better, to just be in silence with ourselves for 10 more minutes a day than we ever have been before. Okay, mantras of the month. Everybody go get your mini mala, rosary beads, or altar beads and play along every day this month. In fact, if you want to do this in tandem with your 10 minutes, that'd be great. Do your mantras, then sit in silence, or sit in silence for 10 minutes and then come out and do your mantras. Make this a practice. Just set aside some time every day to do this because this month's mantras are fire. The mantras are to shift your mindset, and this month I really want you to focus your mindset on you and getting what you deserve and getting what you have fought for. And after the hellish year of 2020, what we deserve is everything. We do. And if you don't realize that by now, if you haven't reached the conclusion by the end of that year and realize that, listen, I need to focus in and know that I'm worthy, that I'm here to tell you that this is where this is going, okay? That you are worthy, you are deserving. And this month's mantras are diving into that. So there are going to be 5 this month. I really like the number 5. 5 speaks of new beginnings, fresh starts, allowing new energy to come in, and can also relate to manifesting. So I really enjoy that 5 came up, and these are the 5 that we're starting with. Are you ready? Okay. So the first mantra is, I am rich. That's it. I am rich, and I'm very particular about that word. I want you to use the word rich because I want you to feel it. I want you to feel every definition and meaning of the word rich. Pull it in, call it in, own it. You deserve it, you're worthy, you're getting it, you're rich. The second mantra is, I am abundant. Abundance is not always the same as rich, right? You can be abundant and not be rich. You can be rich and not be abundant. So they can be separate. They can be together. You can say, I'm abundant and I'm rich, or I am rich because I'm abundant, for sure. But they don't always line up. So I want you to definitely include I am abundant into your mantras because it's important to have both sides of that. The abundance is just as important. And notice the abundance all around you, all the little things. If you see pennies on the ground, pick them up. That's abundance. That's abundance. If you have friends willing to help you out, that's abundance. If you have someone buy a coffee in the line in front of you at Starbucks, that's abundance, right? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. If you get the perfect parking spot in the parking lot, the one that you've always wanted, that's abundance. Like, recognize it. Start paying attention to your abundance and being grateful every time it comes around. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for that. Show it, because you are abundant and we're calling it in. The third mantra is, I am safe. Really feel into that one, guys. Make sure to unclench your root chakra. Unclench it, relax it, allow yourself to feel safe, protected, and grounded, because you are. Speak it into existence. I am safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Even if you don't believe it, by repeating these mantras, you will believe it. You start to trick your mind. Your mind goes, no, I guess I am safe. And then you start to feel safe. And then it starts this whole domino effect of you actually being safe. So that's what I mean when I say speak it into existence. That's what we're doing. The fourth mantra is, I am alive. I really like this one. It goes right after I am safe, but I am alive is a feeling bigger than being safe. I am alive is going from surviving to thriving. I am alive. I am living. I am alive. I'm alive with energy. I am alive with sparks of joy. I am alive with happiness. I'm alive with abundance. I'm alive with richness. Right? I am alive. That's a really big one. Feel into these, guys. They're short, they're sweet, but they're powerful. And then your fifth mantra is, I am here. And this is a really grounding mantra. This really takes all that energy and brings you right back down and roots you. Roots all of these previous mantras and allows them to take hold so that they can be stable and grow from where you've planted them. I am here. I am here. And this brings you to the present moment. So anytime you find yourself having anxiety about the future or worrying about the past, I want you to repeat, I am here. I am here. I am here. Because it brings you right here to this moment where that's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that's important, is this moment right now. I am super stoked to be starting a whole new year with you guys. I will be just as surprised to see what unfolds from here. I have a feeling things are going to shift and change. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I already can feel it coming. I can feel so many things growing from the seeds we planted last year. They're already starting to take hold. So we're gonna use this month to water that, to fertilize that ground, to make sure that we're nourishing and nurturing the growth that is trying to take place so that we can reap the rewards from it, from all of our work. Happy New Year, happy 2021, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye.